people went looking for God, but on the way found deep meaning in the kilogram. Here's a kilogram in France, in 3 glass chambers, just for protection. Now here's another kilogram. Mass has 4 secrets. 1, it stops motion, it weighs stuff, it's E equals mc squared, and amazingly, the heavier it is, the smaller it is. What do we really know about mass? Mass is just not an object, as most people think. It's in actual fact a property of all objects, or dare I say matter. The 4-part story of mass is a story about us. Part 1. At the dawn of history, people began to ask, why do things move? Answer: if people move things, then anything that moves by itself is obviously being moved by spirits. These guys apply an action on an object that resists with their own inertia, resistance against force. For thousands of years, people looked for motives or reasons for motion. Could everything be signed up to nature's traffic laws? Good on you, God. Now, motives and motion are really the same words. Philosopher René Descartes was the first person to really say there were 3 laws. However, Newton really got it down. He had the law of inertia, the second law of motion, F equals ma, and for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. 3 laws. Descartes was French and Newton was English. This is important because Descartes, being French, had the English overlook the fact that he invented the equation. Also, Galileo was Italian and he invented the idea of doing experiments, time, but he unfortunately penned one too many tactless plays against the Pope. Newton's laws combined ancient ideas, his contemporaries, and his own mathematical genius. The old ideas were action, the name for forces that change motion, and inertia, resistance to the change in motion. Newton invented amazing things: force, mass, momentum, gravity, calculus, work, kinetic energy, and even the cat flap. Now let's look at the second law, F equals ma. The green is what the actual maths, which is unwritten, and we have subscripts here of the objects and also the time in which the objects occur. Now this is unusual. So kids, your teacher probably didn't get the memo about subscripts. Here's an example of subscripts. My old Rolling Stone CD, in written subscripts, is music, subscript CD, subscript mine, subscript old, Rolling Stone, subscript old. Funny way of doing things, but really accurate. Now, looking back at F equals ma, we'll now look at the subscripts. The red are for the actual objects, or what's acting on the objects, and the blue says this applies at a particular point in time. That's the way we secretly say F equals ma, so it's really hard to understand. Now, Newton, he actually did a double definition of force and mass. Force defines mass and mass defines force. And here's the equation for a Newton. Hang on, doesn't more mass mean more stuff or matter there is? Well, we'll just have to think about that for a while, and I'll come back to you with another video on that one. Newton said that mass is God's price tag, showing the cost used to change motion. Surely after 400 years we can know why. Well, the answer we have found out is the Higgs boson. Thanks for watching.